Welcome to this vocabulary lesson for Module 10, Lesson 1. The first word we're going to talk about is coefficient. Right, so the word coefficient refers to a number which multiplies a variable. Right, and the easiest way to reference what a coefficient is to look at a number that's connected to a variable, and it's the number that's right in front. All right, so when a number and a variable are connected, it means multiplication. And the coefficient is that number that's multiplying the variable. So in this case, 7 would be the coefficient. The next word, algebraic expression. An algebraic expression is a mathematical sentence with variables, operations, and numbers. Algebraic, am helped to remember. I remember that by looking at the A in algebraic, and I know that the word alphabet starts with A, so algebraic expressions can have letters from the alphabet in it. So algebraic expressions can have variables in them. So if you look here, this algebraic expression has 5x squared plus 2y plus 9 times xy plus 4. So it has variables, and it has numbers, and it has operations. That is an algebraic expression. That's different from a numerical expression. A numerical expression can only have numbers and operations. Okay, so in language arts and reading, we have sentences that we read with words. Math, we have sentences that have different things, and in this case, numerical expressions are those mathematical sentences with only numbers and operations. So here are a bunch of examples of those. So 42 divided by 6, only numbers and only symbols. All right, the next word, variable. So we heard this word when we talked about coefficient. A variable is a symbol, usually a letter, that is used to represent an unknown quantity or a quantity that can change. All right, so in this case, where we had the coefficients before, now we are looking at the variables. So x being the variable here. So we use variables, again, to represent a number that we don't know, or like when you look at the formula for area, length times width. Well, the length and width of shapes aren't always the same. So we use L and W to represent length and width because of the fact that they can change. So we call those variables. Last but not least, constant. So constants are numbers with a value that is always the same. So when you look at an expression, again, you have the coefficient, which is 4, that's being multiplied by the variable x. But then you have these two numbers here that aren't connected to a variable. That means they're never going to change. They are constant. The 7 is always a 7, and the 5 is always a 5. So those numbers that are not connected to a variable or anything else are called constants.